Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the XWF podcast with your host, Chronic Chris Page, them no good bastards, Thunder Nichols, Bobby Bourbon, and yes, if available, Bearded War Pig. And the action starts now.
Hey everybody, welcome to the XWF podcast. Today's program, March Madness. Of course, always joining me on the program. We've got them no good bastards.
March Madness, not normal madness. That's every Monday. March Madness is in March.
That's right. March Madness in the books. Bobby Bourbon, Thunder Nickles, joining me on the program. Guys, I guess first things first. Bobby, what's up, brother? How you doing?
I'm good.
How's life treating you?
Pretty good.
What's your sandwich?
I'm not eating a sandwich. I'm eating wings.
TK.
Wings for king.
Wings for the king, absolutely. TK, brother, what's up? How are you?
I'm doing fine. Just here to talk about March Madness for all the fine folks in the XWF. See, Vinny, I'm getting better.
Give that man a raise.
Classy.
Joining us, we've got a guest for the show today, guys. This is kind of an all bastard podcast, minus me, because the current and still world's television champion, the Nickel Man, Charlie Nickles. What's up, brother? How are you, sir?
I am excited to be here, the world heavyweight television champion, indefinitely and in perpetuity. Excited to be here and talk about all the great matches on March Madness.
We obviously know coming into this was based around the tournament. Let's dive in. Tokyo, Japan, guys. Opening match on this card was Ricky Rodriguez, Thaddeus Duke. Thad goes over. Really solid opening contest. I thought it was going to be one that could set the pace for the pay-per-view, and I think that put some good work in. I liked Ricky, his first little dabble into the XWF. We'll see if he sticks around. Charlie, you're the guest on the program, man. Let's go over to you to see how did you view this opening contest to kick off the program?
Yeah, so whenever I see someone I'm not super familiar with versus Thaddeus Duke, I always lean like, oh gosh, Thaddeus got this. But then I actually saw Ricky promo, and I thought it was actually a lot closer than a lot of people thought it would be. I thought Ricky did a really good job for his first bout, and I thought it was definitely a good way to start the card off because you have a big name, Thaddeus Duke, been in the XWF a while, and then someone like Ricky Rodriguez who comes in and really does a lot of good work to show that they deserved a pay-per-view booking against someone like that. And, the little falls count anywhere stipulation, I thought that was kind of fun, too. Although I didn't like how much Chris Page was in the match. It felt kind of weird that both were with Chris Page, but, that's just my predilection. I thought Ricky Rodriguez did a really good job for his first little enter into this little wacky world.
TK, let's shoot over to you.
I really think this pay-per-view started off perfectly. Like, I don't think the pay-per-view could have shown more than the beginning when Chris Page comes out. I'm really, really excited to report that Chris Page started this show. And Thaddeus Duke put in some really good work going in, and he picks up the win. And that's all I got. Charlie, nailed it. So I'm going to kick it over to Bobby.
Of course you kick it over to me now. I just dropped a wing on my shirtless belly, and now I got wing sauce all around my navel. And I have to explain that to somebody, but not you, because I'm the king. This match was great. I mean, I had Thaddeus and Ricky. They didn't disappoint. They put on a good show for everybody. I loved reading the work. The match itself was a pleasure to read. I don't know if I should be continuing my shenanigans that I was doing with Thad on Twitter here, because recently Thad was boasting about having apparently rumor has it that Thaddeus Duke has a large member, and I went on and made some small penis jokes. And in response, Thad decided that to counteract that, he said he could ejaculate on my face. He's going to need a pair of tweezers to jerk himself off. It's that small.
Sounds like the start to a great romance. The Bobby Thad love story is gonna go a lot farther than the Thad Corey love story did, I thought.
Definitely with wing sauce on the navel.
On the navel? Yeah, now he's slowly like licking it off. Soft music plays. Richard Gere walks by. He looks at us all jealous.
Yeah, right.
Bobby, I do have a real question for you. How did you feel about Chris Page starting this?
Okay,
pay-per-view?
hold on. First of all, fuck you. I didn't write this, so don't throw heat on me for something that I physically did not goddamn write. Fuck you. Moving on. We're not doing this again. Not today, Karen. We're not doing it. Let's move into Thunder Knuckles and his one-on-one. What is this tournament match against Ryan Keto? Goddamn, why are you busting my balls, TK?
I don't know. I just felt like it. I got no
I
reason.
mean,
I got no reasonings.
it's like
You don't need to have reasonings.
At this point, hold me accountable for everything, guys. Just hold me accountable for everything.
Okay.
TK, sorry, Bobby. Match. This is the first semifinals. TK, it's Ryan. High expectations going into this one. Real shit. Role plays delivered. I was kind of interested to see that Kiddo advanced here. All in all, great work all around. I was very impressed with TK and with Ryan and with Bobby's pieces coming into this entire soiree. But one has to advance, and it's Ryan. So Charlie, let me come over to you first. What did you think about the TK and Kiddo hooking it up in semifinal action?
I loved how much my name got mentioned in this match, in the promos for it. I thought that was great. I thought it was going to be a barn buster fucking show burner because I had just seen Keto in action for the TV title. That motherfucker gave me a nightmare and a heart attack. But I was able to skeek it out. But I saw TK versus Rayon. I knew that Keto was going to have a lot of pent-up rage at the Bastards after, I beat him and then Bobby bombed him. And we'd kind of been beating him up out of matches for a while, so he had a lot of anti-Bastards, anti-Bob energy and hatred, and I think TK drew an unfortunate pick here, because a lot of all that Rayon Keto hatred of the Bastards and all of his rage and anger for Bob and what they've been doing, it kind of felt like it got unleashed on TK, which, of course, when the Bobby Rayon stuff happened later, we can talk about that. But so I felt like Rayon came into this match with a huge hatred of the Bastards that he wanted to get off his chest, and he wanted to just rip into TK. And TK came in here kind of cocky, really ready to handle business, move on. And I think Rayon got him a little bit unprepared with how much intensity he brought to kind of the personality of the match. Because TK was like, I want to be the king. Rayon, he ain't about it. And Rayon was like, I have a personal vendetta with TK, and I need to get a victory over the Bastards for my own mental health and my own sanity. And he really did that. And they both went balls to the wall. I was reading their promos. Thank God I didn't have to judge between them. But yeah, I think Keto's personal vendetta against the Bastards really kind of came through in this match. And I'm really excited about working that angle more and seeing y'all work that angle more too.
Sky's the limit with that, and this match is just is an incredible match. Shout out to the match writer, all through and through, all the way down to the end. Mr. Bourbon, let me throw it over to you before we shoot around TK.
Well, I had my eyes on this match pretty intently going into it. I don't know the approach that TK or Keto took in the whole damn tournament, but role playing for a tournament is not something I've ever been good at. And I think that they both did a phenomenal job. Match was well written. This time, Keto came out ahead. And that's about all I have to say about it right now.
Okay.
Yeah, Ryan, that guy can go. Kudos to him. He put in a lot of good work. I appreciated going up against him, but there's always next time, fellas.
Well, I mean, I get it. He advances here, takes us into next semifinal, which is Bobby Bourbon and Jenny Mist, and again, this situation, Bobby's gonna come out on top here. Um, gonna give us keto, and it's gonna give us Bourbon, in the finals later on in the evening. Um, TK, let me shoot to you first. So you came up a little short, but you see Bobby's success. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know who wrote this match, but it's really good. I enjoyed it
It was
thoroughly.
me, bitch.
Was it you?
It was fucking Nickel Man. I was about to lead my intro off with. I thought it was a great written match, and I wrote it. But yeah, it was me. You stole my whole thunder.
Well, you're welcome. Congratulations on the match. Did you get it in on time? That's the real question.
I always come early. Just ask Chris Page.
I don't believe any of that.
Early or prematurely?
I stand by what I said.
Okay.
But Bobby put in a lot of good work, but so did Jenny. Bobby takes this one. And congratulations, Bobby, by the way, before we get down to it.
Slobbing on the royal knob now.
Stop, I'll get used to it. Charlie, tell us about this match.
I think Jenny did a good job. She busted out a lot of dirty tricks. I think Jenny was well aware of the character that, I am a much smaller person than Bobby Bourbon. He is a big motherfucker. I have to play dirty. And they got kind of dirty. Unfortunately, they weren't able to kind of pull out a last finishing trick to cake Bobby down. He's a big motherfucker. And I think the fact that it was a standard rules match actually really benefited Bobby Bourbon, just because we don't know how far this new broken, crazy Jenny Mist character will go. And so I don't think she was able to really bust out all the tricks she would like to with the presence of a referee. And I think Bobby, used that huge move set of his. You never really know what move Bourbon's going to bust out. He's got like 6 signatures, so you always got to be cautious. And he caught her with one big move, and 3 seconds is all it takes. And so that makes him move on to finals. I think Jenny did a great job getting into semis, and I think she showed that she really is deserving of like the nod of being a semifinalist to March Madness, which is impressive in itself.
That's very well said. I don't know how else to take that because can't say it. I couldn't say it any better. Yes, yeah, she did her thing. Let's see what she can do to back it up because, like I said, landscapes and stuff are shifting and changing, and rooms are being made and spots are being opened up, and the sky's the limit for just about anybody right now. Moving into the next match of the night, this one I was a little shocked. On paper, you'd think that this would be a Waters Edgar win, but Rampage and a mystery partner, and that mystery partner ends up being the ringmaster. With the no-show of this, there's a little behind the curtain. Day of, I was like, all right, I'll throw this together because I had a few minutes, and I was getting with Theo because there was nothing on the ringmaster. There's no bio or anything, and I was asking basically what his finishing move is. And if it wasn't the $1 Million Dream, I was going to be very upset. And it was not the $1 Million Dream, and I was very upset. At the end of the day, I had to write this one up real quick. Short, sweet, to the point. I'll throw it around to you guys. So, Charlie, let's start with you. What were your thoughts on this little tag match?
Well, whenever Rampage is on the card, my eyes are immediately drawn to it because Rampage is one of the folks that held the TV title in between the two Charlie reigns, and so that means I know he can go. And so I was very happy when I saw Rampage and a mystery opponent. The fact that it's Ringmaster I think is good. Dolly and RL Edgar, I think that as a tag team, we know they're both really good singles competitors. But as a tag team, there may be some dysfunction, just a familial dysfunction, because we know they have, the Waters family is a long and legendary, history there, with a lot of drama and controversy. And so I think that Rampage and Ringmaster may have been able to kind of collaborate more on the same page and kind of get their work in. Whereas Dolly and Edgar may have had, aunt and uncle kind of vibes going on, and like, do you remember 5 years ago when you kind of said a mean word to me? And it kind of might have ruined their chemistry as characters for this pay per view. And Rampage and Ringmaster just seem more focused, and because of that, I think they were able to take it. And I would be interested to see what they come up with next, Rampage and Ringmaster.
I'm just upset I didn't get to use the $1 million goddamn dream. TK.
Rampage and the Ringmaster really mopped the floor with Dolly and RL, and that's it. That's all I got.
I have to agree. I really would have liked to see more work from Dolly and RL, but it is what it is. Rampage and the Ringmaster carry on. Let's see what they do next.
I hate that Dylan no showed, and literally that was a last minute right for the pay per view. Next time we'll see what happens. It takes us into Xavier Lux and Mac Bain. This is one that I did right, so I will throw it out to you guys first to some feedback on it. So your Highness, let's come over to you.
This match I was really looking forward to reading. I wanted to read their work on the board, see how they perform, because I've heard of these guys before and I'm familiar a little bit with them. But yeah, I was very impressed and pleased with what they put out. And the match itself it's an awesome read. I can tell that somebody put their heart into this, thinking up every little spot and making it look good. And they did a good job of it. And of course, Mac Bain carries on. TK, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, Paige, you did a good job here. Incredible match. Mac Bain picking up the win.
Well, I had some thoughts also on the match. Mostly, I'm curious what these guys are going to do after the match, I'm curious if either of them is going to shoot up and try to go for a title belt. I think they're both positioned pretty well to go for it. Xavier has been appearing a lot on the Savage programming, and I know he'd be a great challenger for the TV belt. Mac Bain, my first remembrance of him was at the Super Show, the Denzel Porter Super Show, which he went against some of the top XWF stars of all time. And so he has shown he has what it takes to fight among some of the top names. I'm curious what he might be able to do for Gold and Xavier. I think both these guys showed on the pay-per-view that they would be deserving of title shot, especially Mac Bain picking up the win, and having shown he can go against guys like, Vinny and Theo straight up at the Super Show. So I think these guys would both be positioned well after the pay-per-view for title shots.
Opportunities are everywhere. It just depends on who seizes them and versus who does not. I thought it was I thought both these guys put up some really good work. Again, I wasn't expecting for Theo to pick Lux to be Mac's opponent, but we made chicken salad, right? I thought that I tried to make them both look good. I think it accomplished that. Sets them both up in the future for whoever against whenever against whoever. Takes
I'm
us
sorry.
in.
Did I hear chicken salad?
Yes.
Okay.
Calvary, Vita Valentine. This was one I think we were all kind of looking forward to. I don't think Calvary got anything up on this one because Vita kind of steamrolls and gets the win here. I do want to point out, and this is something that TK and I have talked about off air. Vita's undefeated. Like the entire month and a half or what cycle, TK? Was that something that we were discussing?
I think for the month of March, she is undefeated.
And she was on, both the programs, right? Wasn't she on
All
all
the
of them?
programs. Savage, Warfare, Madness, and Anarchy. So all 4 shows. All month.
Quadruple.
All months. The whole month.
Good job, Vita, picking up the win here. So let me go over to you, TK. Might as well start with you first.
Well, there's really not much to say. Calvary no-showed, and Vita mopped the floor with him. It is what it is,
risk we take, right?
Indeed.
Highness, do you have anything to add?
Nope.
Cool, man. Are you good?
Never good.
Hold on, I
So
will add something. I don't have anything to add, but I will go further. Vita, Vita's been putting on a lot of strong work and just moving and trucking. Um, Interested to see if Vita tries to do anything at Leap of Faith or moving forward.
even going back further, Vita had a great March. They've been having a great half a year though. Like they have wins over Charlie Nickles. They have wins over Thunder Knuckles before March. They ever since I would almost say like last November, they've been on a steamroll with a couple of L's, but mostly W's. And the more we've got closer to present day, the more consistent those W's have become. And so Cavalry versus Vita was a big show. I'm not that surprised Vita won just because Vita is on a roll. And I think Vita would be an amazing leap of faith challenger if they wanted to step in and try to win a briefcase. They're on a roll. I'm not sure what you're going to really be able to say against their character or do against their character that they haven't seen in this last half a year. In the last month have been especially great, but just even longer. They've had a longer stretch of success, just been located on the mid card, so a lot of people don't see it as much. But me, I'm the mid card champion, in perpetuity. I keep my eyes on that mid card, and Vita has been tearing through it just without a belt, frankly. And they would be well positioned to try to get a briefcase and just make this time their time.
Where's this guy been our entire podcasting, guys?
I don't know. He came out of nowhere, didn't he? He's probably asleep.
Is Ned K? Are you Ned? And I didn't know. Do we have a new professor?
I will never be Ned K. I can never be that innocent.
That's a very good point. I think well, I think Ned's convinced people that he's innocent. You know how that is. I think moving forward, it takes us into arguably match of the night. We're talking about the minis, goddamn championship, guys. Pebbles, mini fucking morbid. Let's go. Who's not sold on this?
I am terrified by all of this. I went through reading this whole map, and then I saw the picture of the of the mini kiss, and that's going to haunt me the entire rest of my life. Every time I go to sleep at night, I'm going to close my eyes, and now I have to check in my closet to make sure that those four men aren't in there. Go look at the picture right now if you're not looking at it. I think it's the little Paul Stanley, and how he's going to devour your soul. The little Gene Simmons is Danny DeVito. I'm almost convinced, and I don't know the other members of Kiss.
Charlie, give me your thoughts. This is the show stealer.
I thought Mini Morbid put in some show-stealing heel work right here, because he's the Minis champion, of course, and so he was fighting Pebbles, it seems, for the Minis belt, or some shit. Yeah, the Minis championship belt, and he fucking won by DQ, or he lost by DQ, because he unleashed a fireball in the other midget's eyes, which to me seems kind of like a clear violation of a standard rule set, but of course, the championship can't change hands via DQ. So Mini Morbid cheated, retains the belt. Then at the end, he and other demonic minis dragged Pebbles up to the ramp where he forced Pebbles to marry him, and now Pebbles has been added to Mini Morbid's harem of wives. So I think Mini Morbid's a problem in that minis division. I think he might be the top heel of the company after that kind of forced marriage fireball for a championship belt DQ, but I still get to keep it situation.
You're right. Is it PC to say that Pebbles came up short?
I want to know how is marrying an unconscious woman legal?
Well, the show happened in Tokyo, so they have like that hentai rule set over there. So things are a bit different.
There's precedent.
Japan and
Triple H married Stephanie McMahon while she was passed out.
Okay, I mean that's a good point, I suppose.
The top heel move. It's a big top heel move. It's a Triple H level move.
Yeah.
It's something. It's
Well,
something.
I think that you guys are looking at this all wrong, and I think Mini Morbid is an inspiration to tiny people everywhere.
Well,
And
yeah.
How, TK?
he knows what he wants and he goes after it. You know what I'm saying?
Just let his height deter him. Dominating the other minis in the minis division.
That's correct. Inspiration.
He also is, I think, might be one of the shortest minis in the minis division. So he's actually going against even more odds than the rest of them at times.
It's definitely Six Flag ride worthy, right?
Well, we got to move on though to the Anarchy Championship match. You know, these are back-to-back.
We can bypass that match.
We
Nobody wants
to move
talk
on to the
about
Anarchy
that.
Championship match. We can spend the next 8 hours discussing Mini Morbid and Pebbles and everything that we just went through there, and how my life is now altered and warped from seeing a picture of Mini Kiss.
We can go into a full blown therapy session on it right now.
I think I shall.
I think the Nielsen ratings showed it was the highest rated segment of the match of the pay-per-view. I think that did bear out, especially with the 18 to 49-year-old demographic. So I mean, yeah, we can't talk about it more. If you
Yeah,
don't
that's a
want to.
demographic too.
Yeah, that's the key demographic. Mini Morbid's the new demo god.
I didn't say key. I just said it was a demographic. I think our key demographic is actually 65 and up.
They're too stupid to know how to turn the channel.
No.
They can't change batteries on the remote.
No.
Yeah.
No, I just sent to that channel in the folks' home, and they're stuck with it.
Actually, they can't change the remote.
I guess we shall move on because we have a title change in hands here, guys. And I do apologize for Hulk going ballistic in the background. Tina Submission Machina, LSM's back in the title mix, going up against Elijah Martin, who's pretty much been unstoppable in the Anarchy brand. Picked up the championship. He's ran with it for a couple of months. Listen here, I did not pick LSM to lift Elijah of that championship, and I'll be damned. It's a really good match. I think Vinny wrote this one up, but it's a good flow. It's a good begin, middle, end, and at the end we've got a new Anarchy champion, and that's Latina Submission Machina. I don't think anybody saw that one coming on this panel. TK, or Bobby TK, whichever one.
Yeah, roll back the tape, TK, to when we were doing the predictions. Like, did anybody predict LSM?
No, I actually have to walk one back, but I'll wait for my turn for that.
Okay, well, take your turn so you can walk.
All right, taking steps backwards. Latina Submission Machina learned how to wrestle over the weekend. And picked up a huge victory over the former now Anarchy champion, Elijah Martin. LSM came in and showed what she's capable of, and I hope she continues to do that.
Yeah, I can echo that. LSM showed up and showed up hard, and I like Elijah Martin. I think Elijah's been doing some great work, but I think he got stumped. I think that he was absolutely baffled by what Machina was bringing to the table because, after all, she hadn't been bringing anything to the table for a little while, and now that she brought something, it's like, well, totally different potluck. Charlie, what do you think?
I'm not sure how many losses LSM has had in a row. I know they lost to Doc, Thad, Jenny Mist in the quarterfinals. Got crushed by Jenny Mist. Jenny Mist whooped the dog shit out of LSM. Like, I watched the match, you know. It was a dog shit beating, you know. And yeah, no one had LSM winning. I think Elijah Martin follied. I think his big folly in the match was he introduced a pair of, you know, knuckles, you know, like those fucking metallic knuckles, you know. I don't know what they're called. What are they called? Those things that you like, brass knuckles. Yeah. He introduced like a pair of brass knuckles into the match. It was a submission match, so he was gonna knock her out with them, I guess. And then in the back, where the referee was turned, LSM grabbed the knuckles, bopped him in the fucking face, and he was out. So I think Elijah Martin got cocky and I think he was sniffing his own farts like everyone on the podcast was. And I think that's the way champions fall a lot of times.
What it sounds like to me, it sounds like we motivated the handler of LSM to do something here. And
Whoever that
goddamn,
is, I'm glad that the podcast helped motivate them. Whoever that person is, I hope they continue to show up. I think I see Vita challenging them. Those would be two good wrestling shows. I think Vita and LSM both handle a variety of characters in the Feds. I'm not sure if they fought before, but I know Vita and LSM would be a good match for the Anarchy Championship if that ever happens, if that gets booked.
maybe we'll see. I like it. At the end of the day, LSM is now what, second time that
Two-time
LSM
Anarchy Champion.
Anarchy Championship is second time.
Two-time Anarchy Champion, two-time Freestyle Champion, one-time $1 billion champion. So I guess LSM is now a 5-time XWF champion.
An awful lot of stats. Stats, and let's keep moving forward. Another match that was, when it was booked, it was on the radar. It is the television championship match at Centurion. It's Charlie Nickles. Charlie, well, we'll come around to you last because you pick up a big win here over Cent and retain the championship. Great little match. Loved how this thing kind of came together. And the connection all the way through it. It's a solid read. DK, I'm gonna shoot over to you because at the end of the day, Charlie Nickles and still television champion.
Well, it was an excellently written match.
Well, that finish is dope.
Yeah.
I'll have to hold. Let me get to.
Spoil
to
the
that.
no, let's spoil the finish first, and then
Yeah.
talk about and then talk about the match.
Yeah.
I give over to the finish.
I don't know, TK. What do you want to do here?
Go ahead. It's all you.
The finish is great. I want to know, Charlie. Do you have any input on that? Do you say, hey, if I go over, I want to go over like
I had
this?
absolutely no input. I had zero nilch nada. I was as surprised as everybody else throughout everything. No input. I just picked the stipulation because I was a TV champion, so I picked a kind of wacky one. That was all the input I had.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna get back around to you then. But TK, yes. Back me up. Talk to me about this because this is whoever did the finish, kudos.
Yep. I don't know who did the match, but it's great.
Not either.
Charlie put in some good work, and I mean, can we all give Charlie a round of applause? I'm inserting one right here.
Hold on, I'm actually going to applause.
There we go.
All right.
Charlie got his shit in early, and I'm proud of him. Good job, Charlie.
Hallelujah. I'm so proud of you for that, but I'm not going to give you too much credit until I see it happen more than once.
Sim put in some good work. I actually didn't hate one of his role plays, and I think that actually hurt him. Yeah. Congratulations, Charlie. Sin will be back. He's always back.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Your Highness.
Thank you. This was a good match. I think top to bottom, reading the work that both Charlie and Sent put out, I realize that now I am going back on the boards. I am clicking onto Centurion's roleplay. I am scrolling down. I am clicking hate. I'm about to go do that for the other one because if TK's not going to do it, I'm going to pick up the slack and make sure that Centurion has hated roleplays.
Man. That's why you're such a great king.
Thank you. As it's my kingly duty to, assist the people and hate Centurion's role plays. Honestly, it was hard for me to hate Sent's role plays because I hate Charlie's role plays. So I didn't know what to expect going into any of this. No, I kid. Strong work by both guys. Good job, Charlie, on retaining. Sent is no slouch. He's nothing to sneeze at. I've never beat him one-on-one. And I'll keep saying that until the day I die.
So, to fill everyone in who doesn't necessarily really read the matches, the match stipulation was an I Quit match between Charlie and Centurion with special guest referee Ruby. Centurion's, kind of tag partner and girlfriend situation. The finish of the match, Charlie had Centurion tied up in barbed wire in the corner. He's holding a steel chair. Charlie is like, I'm going to beat the fuck out of you, Centurion. And Centurion's like, I don't give a shit. And then Charlie turns and smacks Ruby, the special guest referee, with the steel chair while Centurion's tied up. And then Charlie threatens to end her career and go much further. And Centurion quits to save Ruby from the Nickel Man. So I read that, and I was like, oh wow, great heel movement. Definitely a Charlie something Charlie would do, because the feud of this situation was Charlie was kind of mad that Centurion wasn't taking him like a supervillain seriously. You know what I mean? Centurion was like, I'm gonna knock him off. Charlie's just a dude. So Charlie was like, alright, fuck you. Your girlfriend's gonna watch you tap out to me. Throughout the entire match, Charlie struggles immensely to get Centurion to tap. Centurion just won't fucking tap. So I guess Charlie just can't make him quit. It's like Centurion just like, no bullshit, Charlie. I know you're just a dude. I'm not tapping. I'm going to win. And then Centurion gets some barbed wire involved, gets tied up. Charlie wins. Wow, what a match. To me, I was like so scared after I read Centurion's second roleplay. Like, even after the match was posted, the results were posted, I was still like, am I reading this wrong? Like, did I lose? Like, I asked like TK and Bobby, like, I don't know what's going on. Like, his second RP was so strong. I was so scared. And so I guess my stuff was good too, which is always relieving. But wow, that was a hell of a fight. Like, Centurion fucking, wow. Whew. Glad to have won. Fun stipulation, fun match type. The Nickel Man is a bastard. So he made Centurion quit by beating up Ruby with a steel chair. So, him and Mini Morbid, they could definitely do some fucked up shit together if they want to.
Are you proposing a new tag team?
I'm gonna have to.
The Nickel Man and the Mini Man.
I think it would be fair if Charlie was able to tag with two of the little people at once. It's kind of like a 1.5 tag. If it's just Charlie and Morbid. So I think it should be Charlie, Morbid, and he gets Pebbles. You know what I mean? To make it a fully fledged tag team, and then we can really do some damage.
I like it. No, big win here. For you over Centurion. I think Centurion is still the world heavyweight champion and another Fed.
Yes. He is. Let me point out one more thing. Charlie has now officially become the longest reigning TV champion of the modern era and the second longest reigning champion of the modern era for the TV belt, following his victory over Centurion, because he won this belt back in November. So he is now the longest reigning and the second longest reigning TV champion, given his two different reigns of the modern era. Azrael Erebus holds the all-time record with 297 days back in 2012.
Cookie. At least good defenses on this go around.
Actual defenses, yeah. Oh my god.
And making it happen. The first TV title run, I think, was more. You had more stuff going on with tag team stuff versus the TV title stuff. But this reign is really cemented the character, and it's we've talked a little bit. The sky's the limit. If you can go where you want to go. It all depends on how you want to get there. You know what I mean? And this was a huge stepping point for the character. Nichols retains, still television champion. Takes us into what was supposed to be Angie Vaughn and Corey Smith. We've got a little bit of teasers and a count out. Corey retains. Not what we wanted to see here. Not a whole lot to cover. Guys, I think we could move right into the tag title match.
Yeah. I thought this was going to be a barn burner, but Corey did a lot of great shit. But you know how it goes.
I know showed on. He can't help that. So end of the day, Corey retains. Tag titles up for grabs. The Omega taking on Flynn and War Criminal. I think Mark wrote this match, if I'm not mistaken. So I knew coming in that he was going to write some really good shit and make both teams look good. He did. I think we've lost Jay Omega for a little bit to get some things happening. OOC. Um, at the end of the day, they retain. TK, over to you.
Mark wrote this match.
I think so.
It's really good. Good job, Mark. Congratulations on retaining as well. A lot of strong work from Mark coming in. I didn't actually get to see Jay Omega's work, so I can't comment on it. That's all I got.
What you got, Charlie?
I just want I think some no shows are a little bit different than other no shows, just the level of community notice and situations and such. I just want to give a little bit of credit to the Omegas for their run to get them to this situation. They did a lot of really interesting work with having their tag partner kind of be chosen by the community, and they had some fun matches up to the pay-per-view, so I think they were deserving of the shot. Of course, they weren't able to come out with the W this time, but Flynn and War Criminal are top-notch tag champions. They have gone through feuds with the Bastards, they've gone through feuds with Apex, so they are really kind of one of the top dogs in the tag division. They're hard to knock off. If the Omegas want to make another run at it, they might be able to, but it'll still be tough then too. They're just good tag team champs.
Yeah. At the end of the day, here, Flynn's a hard cookie to crack, and he's doing some good shit. He's gonna move forward. We get a little segment after the fact with the tag team champions, kind of laying down what they're gonna do here moving forward. If they want anybody, and I think there's a tag team out there that might be able to answer that call at some point. We'll let that lay for a moment as it takes us into the Extreme title match. The Chameleon, a la the notorious Ned K, taking on Marf. I think we knew coming in, based off of what was on the boards, what was going to happen here. Good work from Ned rolling into this title match, and actually shout out to him for picking up the championship. I picked Marf to win this. I thought Marf was gonna, or maybe I didn't. I think I did pick Ned to win this one. But Marv coming in did a good job as Extreme Champion. At the end of the day, Ned is the new Extreme Champion, and is going to walk into a pretty bad situation, baptism by fire, coming up on the next Warfare. But we'll get to that. Charlie, let me come over to you first. Ned and Marv.
So the Ned K Chameleon thing is like conceptually and thematically and symbolically everything I wanted to do with the Thrax to Charlie thing done like 25 times better. You know what I mean? So like I have to give huge props to Ned K. I didn't see this change from the Chameleon coming. I thought the Chameleon was doing a lot of good work. I'm super psyched to see that Ned K is coming back as coming from with this Chameleon story angle. I'm glad to see he's the Extreme Champion. I gotta say, I thought this match was going to be a little bit closer than it was. I think Ned K came out here and really, I think Marv wasn't ready for it to be Ned K. You know what I mean? Like, imagine you're preparing weeks for a guy who you think is who you've already fought before, who you think is going to come out here and just emulate your situation, your move set, gonna try to copy you. You have your mind space in a particular way, and then the opponent comes out, you're staring across the ring, and it's someone fucking different. Ned fucking K, 2-time Heart champion, not the Chameleon. I think that might have given Ned K a huge kind of boost in a boost of momentum going into that match with that unveiling happening, at the end there towards the end of the cycle. So Matt might have spoofed Marf a little bit. I was really hoping Marf could get could really shine at his most, because I thought Marv as Extreme Champion was great. Marv's my boy. I drafted him to Charlie's Carnies back at War Games. I think he's a great wrestler, super bloody in that ring, always willing to go the extreme mile. But I think Ned K, the Chameleon being Ned K, was a shock to Marv that allowed Ned to come out and catch Marv a little bit, admittedly, off guard. Not that Ned couldn't beat him when Marv was going full, just that I think when the pay-per-view rolled around, all the shock and awe that the Chameleon had gave Ned an advantage that he might have to fight Marv next time without. Props to Ned K. Amazing.
For sure. TK, let me come over to you.
Big props to Ned K. The Chameleon turning out to be Ned, excellently done. Great storytelling up to that point. You know what I'm saying? It's really good to see Ned shine through yet again. Marf, you'll get him next time. Great match.
Your Highness, are you back?
Yeah.
Okay, what do we got here? What are your thoughts on this one?
Well, I think that Ned K wins the big one. That's the story of this match. Shame about Marf. I think that I think he maybe might have gotten overwhelmed. I heard that he was having a rough week, and I look forward to a rematch. I think both guys are good, but yeah, Ned K won the big one here.
We roll into the finals of the March Madness tournament. It's keto, it's bourbon, it's the collision course that we have been waiting on to determine the new king of the XWF. And good goddamn, congratulations, all hail, King Bobby.
All
Oh,
hail King
God.
Bob. Insert trumpet noises. Ba-doo, ba-doo.
That's right, Bobby Bourbon is the new 2022 King of the XWF. Bobby, will come around to you first, or come around to you last. We'll come around to you last, so you can tie a bow on it. TK, let me start with you. Your fellow bastard, in at home.
This is probably my favorite match of the entire night. It was good storytelling from beginning to end. Fantastic, fantastic match. Kudos to the writer. Bobby, congratulations yet again. I kneel.
No need. TK, you never have to kneel. What's the line from the end of Return of the King? My friends, you kneel to no one.
Nickel Man, let's come around to you.
Whew, when I saw it was keto bourbon, my heart and soul was like, oh God, please let bourbon win. Just because I'm a bastard, I can't have that situation. So bourbon did win. What a fucking match. I think bourbon versus keto was probably, in terms of getting two face-like characters, the best situation we could have, because I think kayfabe Bourbon is the most lovable of the bastards, as evidenced by every time he comes out into the ring, the entire crowd chants, "Fuck him up, Bobby! Fuck him up!" That's probably going to be "Fuck him up, King Bobby" or something soon. But when Charlie, hits people with chairs, and when Thunder Knuckles scams people, they don't always get the same audience reaction. But Bobby, the audience cheers for him, but the audience cheers for Keto too. So I think this was, I know Bobby's not a face, but he's more so than Thunder Knuckles and Charlie perhaps. So I think this is great for the bastards to have the most lovable bastard in finals. Keto came out, gave it his all. Like I was saying earlier, I think Keto facing two bastards in a row may have been one of his downfalls, because a lot of that pent up anger and rage he had may have gotten unleashed on TK, and then he didn't maybe have the same level of personal passion for the opponent. Of course, he had wanted to be the king of the XWF, but in terms of that passion for the opponent, perhaps Keto was able to get a lot of that anti-Bob energy out on TK, or perhaps, he still had it, and Bobby just overcame it with his sheer size, in-ring, execution, and vast moveset. But either way, Bobby's the king. Bobby has now Bobby bombed Keto after a match and then beaten Keto in a match. So I really am interested to see if perhaps those two characters do anything going forward. I know that Under Knuckles has, Ned K on the horizon as the number one contender. I'm curious if Bobby and Rayon might be working something after this. I feel like Rayon's character just has to be like so mad at the bastards and at Bobby Bourbon now after that.
Such
I just
prowess from His Majesty.
prowess
Thank
from his
you.
man. Yes, the prowess from His Majesty. Oh, I kneel before Bob. I kiss the ring and the smallest of his toes, on both feet, which is not
Charlie,
his
Charlie, to
farthest.
quote Tolkien yet again, my friends, you bow to no one.
And no one is
Uh,
perfect, and you are perfect, King Bob.
and this is where we turn it over to Your Highness. Hear ye.
So I was recently asked what kind of crown I wanted, and it was suggested I get a Burger King crown. I thought that would be funny, but then I went with something that's way better. And when that crown is debuted, I hope you're pleased. But other frontrunners for what the crown was going to be was just going to be the King Friday puppet from Mr. Rogers. And I was going to walk around with that and have a puppet. But then I realized puppets get old quick. So I can't do that. Um, Also, something of note, I finished my wings and I just had a piece of cake. And it's not because I'm the king. It's because it's the same reason I stepped away for a moment. It's my brother's birthday. So, everybody, happy birthday to somebody who's not a member of the Fed.
Right.
Um, as for the match itself, we'll get to that in a minute. Right now, I am wearing some basketball shorts. They are black. They're very silky. I appreciate them very much. My back is itchy. I don't have a back scratcher. I am scratching it with scissors. Now, why am I going off about all this nonsense? Well, apparently I'm the king, and I don't know what that means. So I'm just going to do whatever, and everybody's going to be like, "Hey, Your Highness." Like, okay, I guess that's what I do. Um, in terms of the match, like this was a tight one. I look forward to facing Keto again. I love his work. Um, Again, everybody that was in the final four, like strong work. When you're in a match like that, or in those circumstances, it was almost like I was role playing for a four way and not just two one-on-one matches. So, and I guess I came out ahead because my stuff was that technically sound. Um, and I'm glad that you guys like the work that I put in. Um, it's like people have been saying for a while. It looks like we didn't get that TK versus Bobby Bourbon match quite yet. And honestly, I don't want that match to happen anytime soon. I want to team up with TK and do fun stuff, not have a blood brawl with my favorite partner. Me and Charlie are probably going to be teaming up, and that's disappointing. And it's not because I don't like Charlie; it's because it's not TK. And maybe someday down the road it'll be TK and Bobby again. But until then, I guess I'll team up with Charlie because he's available. And then yeah, can we just move past to get to the main event, or was wait a minute, hold on. Paige, did you talk
Bobby,
about this match yet? No, you didn't. Go ahead.
Oh no, well, I mean, Your Highness, this is your show. You steer us into the main event.
No, I want to hear your feedback on this match. You didn't give any.
that's a
No,
command, Chris.
we're talking about the finals. Yes, I did. I talked about the Keto and Bart. Yes, I did. Started it off, and then I went to TK, and then I went to Charlie, and then I came around to you.
He wants to hear you talk more about how awesome he is for winning, so give him that.
Your
Is
king
this where you want
demands
me
it.
Oh, you want me to verbally fellatio you?
No.
Okay, well here we go. Uh, no, no. In all seriousness, this was such a treat. It was so, as they say, delicious from conception through the digestive process. all the way to the end result. No, in all seriousness, Bobby is the king. I think that the match. Here's what I and this is I don't want this to sound negative, but this is what I hate about same day matches is they don't get I don't feel like they get the time. Because you gotta do it quick, right? But this one from bell to bell, it set it up. Uh, I think that the groundwork is there for Bobby and Keto to do more. I also think that that can be revisited with TK and something that comes into play when you think about the entire tournament and the final four, and even maybe the elite eight that were involved in it to begin with. But faith is right around the corner. Like this right here, one of these people is going to be getting a briefcase. You know what I'm saying? And this tournament, like, really kind of points you into who those front runners should be. As far as Bobby being the king, that thing comes with it is what you wanna do with it. Last year, Doc came through, started off with the King Doc character, and it kind of faded out. So it'll be interesting to see what Bobby elects to do as King Bobby, right? Like that's just one of those situations. Does that suffice?
Yes, I will defer until the half. That's what I will do with the kingship. Or yeah, as king, I will defer the kick.
Yeah. Okay.
This leads
Ex-
us to our main event. I'm sorry, Chris. Go ahead, man.
Oh, you handle it, brother. You got Alias and Peter Vaughn, the Universal Championship. This card has been super stacked, kind of from opening bell throughout. There hasn't really been, there's a couple of no shows, but not really like dull moments within the card itself. This is a 3-tier cage match. Your Highness, let's go to you.
Another great match. Lights out work by both guys here. Somebody had to win, and that somebody was Alias this time. I could read these guys go at it again. Um, and I'd like to see what's going to happen next with the Universal Championship now that Alias has reclaimed the title. TK.
The match was fantastic. The 3-layer cage, enjoyed it. Chairs, tables, cage. How can that be bad, right? Alias picking up the victory here. That guy can write, but so can Peter Vaughn. That was a really close match, I think. Great work from both of them.
Charlie.
I also love the concept of the match with the three cages. I'm a huge mark for that because it reminds me of the Ready to Rumble movie from the WCW, like 2000 or something. But this was a much better situation than anything WCW's ever got. You know what I mean? Like, we had Peter Vaughn as the champion with Alias coming in as a super hot contender who had just lost the title belt a couple months ago, was now coming in to get some vengeance, not against the guy that took it from him, but against Vaughn. And so Vaughn was up for a hell of a challenge, and he really, I think, rose to the occasion. Unfortunately, he just was not able to get it done. You know, sometimes no one deserves to lose a match, but just the way matches go, somebody has to win, so somebody has to lose. And in this situation, Alias hit him with the left hand down the throat, overpowers Vaughn, and then picks up the uni belt, unfastens it, and is now the champion again. So that was, I think, an incredible moment for the XWF universe. I'm sure everyone watching that at home on their television screens, kayfabe went super cray cray. Because it looked like Vaughn was going to retain towards the end of the match, but Alias comes through. I think a lot of people thought Alias was going to win, but I know a lot of people also thought Vaughn was going to retain. Uh, and fuck, that was a good match.
Takes us into the post match that I believe that you've got something to do with. So Set us up. What happens here?
I mean, it looks to me like every bastard has something to do with it. You know, Alias holding up the belt, celebrating his wonderful, wonderful return and reunification with the uni. Then a bunch of green smoke starts to blow out of the ring post while the lights get cut off. Someone shines a red spotlight down from the rafters. The spotlight has like that lettering logo situation, so it reads mine with the red spotlight atop the green smoke that Alias is caught in. And the green smoke and the red spotlight is a reference to the color text code of the Charlie Nickles dialogue, which is green color with red shadow. And then a little video package plays on the screen just highlighting Charlie Nickles and how he lifelong loser that has turned it around and is now on a hell of a tear. And then the bastards all come out onto the ramp. You know, we have Thunder Knuckles, the Nickel Man, Oswald, Bobby Bourbon, and Barney Green. So they're all staring down at Alias. Alias is staring through the smoke, looking at them. And then all of a sudden, a mystery person comes out over the ramp with a briefcase, hits Alias in the back of the head with the briefcase, takes their mask off. It's Jim Jimson. So, the pay-per-view ends with Jim Jimson, the greatest jobber in the history of the XWF, and the most recent member of the Brotherhood of Bastards, viciously assaulting the new Universal Champion before running up the entrance ramp and being welcomed into the fold. So yeah, Alias got smoked by Jim Jimson to end the pay-per-view.
Okay, Your Highness, let's get your thoughts on the show close.
Well, I think that this really sets up some interesting stuff, and I look forward to what they're going to do in the future. You're biting off an awful lot, Charlie, if you're going to take on Alias. That's all I got to say. He's no slouch, and that's
I
going to be a
didn't
hell
do
of a trap.
anything. It was Jim Jimson that hit him with the briefcase. I just played a video. Jim
I
Jimson
know.
is. It was
I know.
Bob Bobson. Bob Bobson might be what we got to call him now.
No, that's the gym, man. You can't fuck with the gym.
I hope Alias doesn't take it out on me, what Jim did.
Don't fade the heat to Jim.
Yeah. This lays solely on Charlie's shoulders.
This is big boy shit now. You call down the thunder, you might get ready because it's coming.
Oh, oof.
It's a hot way to end the pay per view. It does set up some interesting things for what could be a very I think it's I don't want to keep using the word interesting, but I think it's going to be a very interesting leap of faith, depending on how things shake out. Because we know that coming up on Warfare, we've got Ned Cade defending the Extreme title against Thunder Knuckles, which is huge. It's a big match coming off a pay per view. There's going to be some voids in the roster, so there's places that people can make an impact. This is going to be a pretty interesting and just a good cycle, I think, for a lot of people to step to the forefront and say, I'm here, plant your flag, let's see what you got.
Here. Now, as your king, I demand to know, why does Superman wear a belt?
He thinks it's fashionable.
Wrong.
Oh. So it sounds like you already know.
It's because he has celery sticks in case somebody needs a snack.
That's why you're your Highness.
Thank
You're
you.
the man. Those are Bobby fun facts. Your Highness fun facts of the day.
I'm gonna have those from now on.
Let's tie a bow on this from overall viewpoints of the pay per view, March Madness. TK, let me come to you first.
The entire pay per view is great. Thank you to all the writers who wrote the matches. Can't say that enough. And join us next time, right? May 29th from Dubai. Leap of Faith.
getting that blood money contract from overseas now.
Like a cool tag team name, Dubai Blood Money.
That is a good one.
Yes. Bobby, your thoughts on the pay-per-view?
I thought the show, top to bottom, was amazing. Again, thank you very much to everybody who thought my work was good, and I humbly stand before all of you as my king, having no clue what I'm supposed to do with that. So I'm just going to do whatever until I'm corrected. Charlie, what'd you think?
I thought it was a great show. I thought the match writers did exceptional. I loved all the matches. For the most part, were longer than what you'd see on Warfare and Savage. It really gave it that big dollar pay-per-view feel. I think a lot of the writers really put a lot into it, and I think that showed in the work. I'm glad the match writers were able to show respect for that with their great matches up and down the card. I think it was a perfect mix of titles changing hands and titles remaining on waists, and I'm excited to see kind of where the stories for different championship belts go, given the fallout that's going to happen from all the chaos and all the crazy stuff that happened on this show.
All eyes are now geared towards Leap of Faith. I'm saying it now. This is this year's Leap of Faith match. You know, everybody knows how critical and crucial the briefcases are. This year's match is legit. I think the big could be the biggest toss up depending on the entrance. And really set the tone for what's going to be a pretty big year for the rest of 2022. Overall, great show. Beginning, middle, end. It delivered. It will lead us to Leap of Faith. So I guess really and truly, there's only one thing left to do, and I think I've got to turn it over to Our Majesty to fade us out.
On me? Okay. All right. Well, as always, buy a stapler. I don't know what I'm doing as king. I'm trying stuff.
Send it over to Vinny.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So I'm going to send it over to Vinny now.
From now, tomorrow, and forever, fuck you, Ghost Tank.
Thanks for listening to the XWF podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the XWF YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter at XWF1999. And don't forget to check us out at XWF99.com. Be sure to join us next time where the action never slows down.